All right, gang. As promised, pad tour. Promised to Beth. Love you. Shout out to my dad for building this incredible bookcase. Specifically to house the pad collection in all its glory. Yum yum. I love each and every one of them. And I'm going to run through why we do. So, to start, got chops, Yahoo, sure do, after doing this a while. Starting out with the Rudimental Control Black Widow pad. Just came in 2 weeks ago. Very well built. Love it, love it, love it for a number of things. Not the least of which is its absolutely gorgeous presentation. Well done, sir. This is also from his company. Wanted to support a small business, so well done, dude. This thing has a pop like no other. And I love it for 1,001 reasons, but my favorite features on it are the following. One, that you can play different velocities and it will really force you to pay attention to that. So, for instance, you can play a roll at the same height, the same velocity, and dig a little deeper and get completely different tones. For instance, right about here, nice and relaxed, go in a little bit. And then dig deeper. So that's the first reason. I love the pop of this thing. I also love the different changes in timbre as you come out to the edge. Most drum pads only have like one, if any, real shift in tone from center to edge. Not this bad boy. This has got like 10 different places you can go. So, center. Even that little bit. Slightly tighter, slightly different. Then we get on top of the logo. And then you can even go outside the logo, between the logo and the rim, and then it gets real kind of snappy. You're almost playing on the rim of the head at that point. Back to center. Love it. Just love it. So, well done. Well built. Gonna be here forever. Very, very similar, but certainly not the same, is the Rudimental pad. Comes from Europe. Obviously, this thing has been loved. Very similar in design. Wooden frame, rim, boned in, yum yum. I will say, interesting difference between the two. This is actually screwed down with drum key right? So normal lugs. The Black Widow is screwed down with Allen wrench. So, don't know why he made that choice. Don't really care. It sounds fantastic. Just making a note of the differences. Very similar in design, as we mentioned. Same kind of thing of like a good pop. This reminds me of almost an exact replica of, say, a Cadets 94 or Cadets 15 boxy kind of snare sound. Yum. Okay, next we have the Invader from Off-World. Standard stuff. Just a small rubber base on the back for non-slippage. If you know anything about the material, it's super yummy to play on. It's a very truth-telling pad. There's not a whole lot of hiding your stuff in here. Plenty of rebound, but you can hear if you're acting the fool. I love it for a softer, truth-feeling kind of experience. I will say, after a while, it can be a little pushy on the knuckles from shock absorption, not unlike the big Zymoxes. It's not quite that severe. Like, you got to play on it for a good hour, but eventually your fingers start to go, ugh, it's a little non-forgiving in that regard. But I love it for when I want truth without a whole lot of extra noise. Not a great change in center to edge. I mean, it's there, but like this feel, not the greatest. The rim's fucking indestructible. Like, for being a plastic rim, good luck ever cracking that. Vic Firth, a good old brand new heavy hitter slim pad with laminate, mind you. We all know why we love this pad. This is the greatest truth-telling story ever in the history of padism. Like, the thing just, you cannot hide. There is nothing but rebound all day long. I do love the buzz response on this. I mean, you can, if you're, really wanting to do even the concert thing. You can get some buzz happening there. Again, rim, completely indestructible. I did something to the back of this that I might catch a little flack for. Don't really care. Highly recommend it. I'm a big sucker for laminates and seeing what laminates can do to pads. In this case, the RCP Drum Company laminate on the back spongy of this thing. Talk about ramping it up. And I only did this because I already have a spongy pad that I love that we'll get to later. But man, oh man, this put a laminate on a sponge pad, whatever you got. It changes the ball game. It's so fun. You get the response of the laminate, but you also get the feel of the sponge. So, incidentally, this tone sounds exactly like a digital metronome that I have. And so I will sit there and just blend with 16th notes and just play taps forever. And you can kind of get dissolved into it. You can get a big old fat rim slap in there, and then check it out, going towards the edge. Oh. Such a cool upgrade. And don't get me wrong, the sponge pad that they made, killer. I love it. But again, I already had another spongy pad, and a brother trying to get as much variety as I can out of the world. Off-world pad, Invader, same thing. Only this time, we put the Sawyer's percussion laminate on this. Same exact thing as the red Invader we just went through, but that laminate, boy, dude, so articulate. So lovely. Same kind of feel. You can just get a little extra. So I love it because I get to have the feel of the Invader, but I get to have the just a little extra articulation. And this is more of an enjoyment experience pad rather than a tool pad, as it were, right? Because the heavy hitter, no tool like it anywhere on earth for truth telling. Okay. This is a super old Zymox gum rubber that I actually snagged in a trade. So shout out to Jacob. Love you long time. Phenomenally talented, choppy drummer from Atlantic West. Just, dude, the boy's sound quality is baller for being a youngin'. Got the snare thing happening underneath. I had the original fat, extra articulate Zymox, and I gave it to a buddy, my best friend that I've been drumming with for years. It is very similar to that, but without the stress of the shock, because that gum rubber softens it a little bit. And I know we talk about it a lot, that the whole thing of, hear it, the squeak, right? That some of these old gum rubber styles are like, you can't, as soon as you start playing this way, it gets caught. But if you don't slice, then you don't feel it. So I love it for the softness. It has this beautiful blend of softness but articulation with just a touch of wetness. 'Tis not that wet at all. And we'll get to another pad here in a bit that is like the wet on steroids, almost Scottish snare on top guts head feel to it. But this bad boy, I love because I get to have a little bit of truth with a little bit of finesse and just a touch of wetness. And my favorite thing in the whole world to play on this pad, I don't know why, but I love the exercise of BD99 Spree. Plenty on any surface. But on this thing, for some reason, it just brings my heart so much joy. There's a little crushing in there, but it's early. I'm still getting warmed up. And I'm 45. I suppose that's not an excuse. Alright, next on the list, we got the Hex Wave pad. These are pretty much non-existent. There's another design that the guy used to make that's been sold out forever. I think I might have actually grabbed the last one in existence. I grabbed it both because I love a wood pad. Two, I loved the design of it and the aesthetics. And I was actually pleasantly surprised by this thing. The rubber on this, it feels, it's not even rubber. It's like petrified cloth. Like a petrified old school mouse pad or something. And it's dead even with the build of it. There's no rim, no nothing. And there's something about this surface and the tone combined with the visual experience of the psychedelic design. So, and you can make it talk to you, like you can get it, it's a slightly different tone with legs apart. So, here's the other thing. That do-it-yourself pad company, I don't know why, they sent me 3 of the recycled tire thingies. And I was like, well, what am I going to do with these? So I put it on the back of this. Normally, this is just straight wood back here. I don't think I'm gonna be using this much, but it now has a non-slip base, so that's fun. Okay, next we move on to our trusty, tried and true, old school dinosaur relic. I love you so much. Ungodly overpriced in value in modern day, where you're gonna pay between $150 and $350 for one of these old school original real feels, if you can find it. This is the exact same pad that I had, the very first pad I had in high school. And why I ever got rid of it, I'll never fucking know. Found one, didn't care about the price, was like, fuck it, I gotta have it in my collection, if nothing else for nostalgia. And interestingly enough, it came over here and I was amazed to remember how much I love it. It's so nothing complicated, very, very, very just simple, minimalist, right? And in some respects, like, I love it for all of it, right? I love it for the memories. I love it for the simplicity. I love it for the gumminess of the gum rubber, of the original, just yum yum, man. It's so good. So that's tried and true. Dude, this thing, yo, the controversy, boy. Like, I couldn't find one of these for the longest time. It's the Pearl Pad from Amazon Japan. You gotta go digging. I mean, probably not now so much, because I think they've gone up in production. So on the backside of this was a sponge. I put the Vic Firth laminate on this thing. This is one of my favorite surfaces ever in life that I have in the house, that I've ever played on. I mean, God, at this point, I've probably played on 100 different drum pads in my life. This is one of my favorites. It is so spongy, but so articulate. God, love it. So yummy. Good old fat pop on the rim. And it's so spongy, yet so articulate. And you can get into all sorts of different I mean, listen to that timbre grow in volume. And then, of course, edge is pretty nice too. Love it. Now, the reason that we bought the thing, because we didn't know about no spongy shit on the back. This thing, this is one of the great mysteries of the universe, is what this is. Like, this gum rubber takes the work for it knob and just boop, one notch. It doesn't have quite the rebound as the real feel. Very similar, but man oh man, watch the comparison. On the real feel, the last like 2.5 notes of the bounce, plenty. It's like a nice, soft braking to 0 miles an hour. Right? Not this thing. And normally we hate the idea of air pockets underneath a pad surface. For some reason, somehow, they totally went level Asian on this fucking thing, and they figured out how to have the most microscopic air pocket underneath. This thing like floats on its own pocket of air. It's bizarre. And so it sucks your note in just a touch. And while we're at it, shout out to Silver Fox, old school gamers, right? This was the very first marching stick I ever saw in person. I found one on the web. I paid an astronomical amount of money for 2 pieces of wood, but my God, they feel like buttercream with like a hint of espresso in the fingers, in the hands. And I promised myself I would never play a single rim shot with these bad boys, because these motherfuckers gotta last till this beard down to hell. So take advantage every now and again. But check it. God, you gotta work to get those diddles out. That second note, man. And you can hear kind of the air pocket lack of snap in the taps versus the accent. Hear the rubberiness of that? And then you have pop. It is this beautifully soft experience, and yet every note you drum on this thing, you stare into this pad and it talks to you, and it's like, dude, I got wisdom to just barf, and you're gonna have to work for that wisdom. Yeah, you gotta really get working for those things. Shout out to BD 94, 5, 6, 7, and somewhere in the 2000s rewriting and playing Diddy. But the original, dude, 94 through 97. Mwah. Okay, moving onward. And I'm realizing I'm gonna have to do this in like 3 parts. Tama True Touch. You could not ask for a heavier, wetter, strangely perfectly sounding, feeling mylar marching snare. Cranked perfectly. Before the days of free floaters. Lugs and all. With a good old fucking perfectly tuned silver dot. Mwah! And with these sticks, no less. These are Patriots. Excuse me. These are Patriots. There's some old school for you. Y'all remember I think was it Campbell Patriots? I don't remember who made them off the top of my head. But the head of the stick looked like the top of the pawn chess piece. It had this like elegant little like collar on it. And a super round bead that came near damn to a laser point. Not quite a teardrop. It was like a pregnant teardrop tip. And oh god, those things and these bad boys on a silver dot. Just, oh, what a weekend. So, True Touch, Tama, yum yum. A lot of people don't like the mesh head. I love it. I tried doing a standard head. Yo, roll with the touch of the screen mesh feel. Mind you, I mean, if I'm gonna really get whispery to the point that I can't hear the wetness, I gotta get way down on this. You can hear some snares popping out through there. But like, that's how responsive that thing is. Get some cabbie style going on. Super wristy. That's my favorite part of this pad. It never, ever, ever feels anything less than a perfectly tuned mylar from center to edge. notice those paradiddle threes that quick in a minute. Love it. If you want a Mylar feel on a pad, can't do no better. Cannot find nothing out there other than that. Alright, now then. Get your ass out of there. Yes, Beth, it was me. I was the idiot that paid $200 and something, $20 for this thing. I was the sucker, as you typed. But you know what? I knew the dumbass is going to be a Zymox up and running. Because I wasn't going to wait till the delivery wasn't made. I knew there ain't no way they coming back. If they did, I seen they ass over at PASIC. If y'all up and running, bravo, dude. Start cranking them out. But for the love of God, for the minute there, you could not find these bad boys. And I'm telling you, like, say what you will, destruction of forest, chemicals in the thing, and I don't care. You cut it out with the opinions. This thing is, it's otherworldly. There is nothing like it on the planet, and it might be one of the top 10 perfect pads ever made in existence. It's incredible. People are like, you can make one of those for $40. Okay, motherfucker, I like to see your ass try. Make some shit that feels like this for $40 and give it to me. Send it to me for free. If it is identical to this, I will quit my day job and I will market your company. It cannot be done. Not a prayer. And, you know, if the Live Edge guys are over there like, we only spent $40 on each pad and joke's on you, motherfucker. Well, cool. You fooled us. Good work. This thing is exceptionally wonderful. Now, some of y'all might remember the Zymox Blue Dot special and how bouncy the center of that thing was. Is that thing on steroids? You don't have to do shit. You can just sort of wiggle your finger and, I mean, who knew you could build a pad that was so bouncy that it would force you to learn a new finger technique to get your pulse perfect. I was instructed by one of the great snare drummers of the world, Senor David Linard. 95 Phantom, third place INE. If it's not Scottish, it's crap. And still to this day, not even Mark Thurston had a better touch style than that dude. He was so loose. It was so perfect. He did Spirit, Blue Coats, and Phantom. And I'll never forget as long as I live. On his old reel feel, on the top of it, it says, "I must flam drag," and the last 3 exclamation points are notated in a flam drag. This dude had duple rolls 190 BPM with the sexiest, shiniest, glassiest, most pristine, satisfying, crisp to the ears sound quality you've ever heard in your entire life. And his technique was visually just, I forget pleasing, it was damn near arousing. I mean, it didn't matter if it was triplet accent, it was so, he was the only guy I'd ever seen play that made me realize he's got to be the only person on the planet that I have ever seen take as much great care for every left-handed tap. No one does it like he did. Nobody. It was just the moments of him being in front of us in his Tevas, his red checkered Umbro shorts, and his Phantom Snareline t-shirt, and the most impossibly perfectly created Ralph Hardemans that ever existed in life, with the most perfect tape job that ever existed in life. And he would stand there completely spread and doing his thing, and you down here watching, and two things are happening. You are your eyes are glued to this man's beads hitting the drum, because you can't believe what you're hearing and you cannot believe what you're seeing. And every now and again you look up at him, and he had this look on his face as if to say, see this? This is the door to the universe. This is the center opening gate to the dimension of peace and tranquility. Come enter it at your wish, but you're going to have to work for it. You're like, all right, got you. Love him. But that live edge pad, it forces you to relearn the tiniest touch of that thing. And I realized I didn't really complete this in the loss of my story. That pop is unmistakable. To the edge is so fun. It gets kind of... The audio illusion is that there is less rubber towards the edge of the pad. It's like a... Hear like the wood coming through there, as opposed to... Now we hear just pad. Yeah, that's so good. Speaking of Dougal, yeah, hey, David, get up there. He said, you're like, really? He's like, oh yeah, here we go. And he just pump his arm. He's like, it was just, and off, Jeff Queen, eat your heart out. And then you go on the blast video when he, dude, he drops into that split. We checked we looked at the check pattern the other day. It's 260 duple. 260. And the clarity, forget the clarity, like the clarity is impossible at that speed. Every note, there's no drop in, there's no slur, there's no drop of technique, there's nothing. It's just polished showroom floor condition at the auto convention clarity. But forget all that. He does this decrescendo, and it's a slight drop. He's like, and then he goes, and it's quick, it's subtle. If you're not listening for it, it'll zoom by you. If you're not an educated listener, if you're brand new to drumming, if you ain't never drummed in your life, don't give a fuck about what we talking about, it will blow right by you. But if you are a drummer and you specifically are a marching ghoul and you got some ears in there, he said, like, okay, dude, just. And then the thing is, he backs up into the line and the rest of the line comes out. And it's this moment where you're like, yeah, I'm clearly the best at everybody behind me. Like, everybody that I drum with is good, but I walked in and I did some shit that the producers were like, that's him. That's the guy. We gotta put him in the center, because these guys, I didn't make him, but And if you want a real treat, go back and watch Jeff Queen's BK I&E solo. I mean, the dude's basically just playing some version of Paradiddle Poopy, Paradiddle Paradise, what we've all nicknamed it 1,000 things. But he's going. He's like, for all of you that don't know, let's kill two birds with one stone. This is the U12 Ultra Floating Object Pad. For my money, probably the most perfect pad ever created in life. This was it. This is the grail that I had been looking for. They crammed everything I loved about every pad I'd ever played on into one. It is a free floating kind of thing happening. They've got like some snare technology glued up in there with this cute little knob that says, "Turn me." And you try to turn it clockwise, righty-tighty, lefty-loosey. You would think that turning it tighter would make the snares tighter and thus the thing wetter. And it is backwards. Huh? So you got to turn it towards you to make it wet. Fine. The second that I touched this thing, and I was filming it to send to my buddy Leo I mentioned, and I mean, that was one of those moments for me, honest to God, y'all, that time stopped. I've had a few of them in my life where time just stopped. And this was one of them. It is the perfect construction of what feels and sounds like the old school Premier 450S, whatever the fuck it was, Scottish pipe drum with the guts on the top head. It's weird to think that I've had an experience in my life where taking two pieces of wood and beating them on a surface brought me to tears. Not because I was playing on the line, not because I was having like the greatest triumphant moment of my life performing for 80,000 people in drum corps. No, the simple act of listen to that. The crunch. Like, you've never been so excited to play bucks in your life. Gritted gridded Tutra Chidleys, by the way. 421. Yeah, they are a 5-stroke grouping. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Right, so they alternate. They are a drag with a cheese invert. Yeah? Yep. Oh, let's yeah. Oh god, I cranked the shit out of that thing. Okay, this is with the snares off. Hear how much drier that is? It sounds almost empty in some strange way. Okay, Touch Your Chidleys. Yeah. No, excuse me. Yeah. Yeah, wait. Had to remember my own shit. Okay, so it's a drag, or tap drag. And then just a cheese invert. Forgive me, I have not sat here for a weekend and worked them from 40 to 220, so they're not perfect. Don't piss on my experience now. So let's go from dry to wet as a comparison. Hey, yeah, wait a minute. No. All right. Okay, so dry. Start getting wetter. Eh? Listen. I have a hard time telling the difference if I do it gradually like that, but it's a lot wetter. Okay, to wrap up this segment, or this shelf, as it were. God, we got 3 more to go. Dude, we got an adventure to go on. Forget 3 parts. It can be like 20. So, exercise, Leo and I built at a dam in a windstorm. We said, well, we want to build a really complicated but fun to play shopping spree on all the shit we know. And at that point, we were fucking, it was 98. We didn't know shit from Shinola like we do now. Anywho, this is what we came up with. Fun to play with. And to break it down, in case you want to learn it, like, cool to do. Alright, so you start out with the flam accent yum yum, right? Isolation. Sorry, I'm getting ahead of myself. Alright, so accent, drag. And then we had tap, right? Flam tap. Invert. Cheese invert. And then 2 egg beaters, or Chinese 5s, as we were told. Followed by a baku baku. Right? 2 paradiddle diddles. Right? And followed by the baku baku. And then we stole from BD96 early season. It's a roll passage that splits 6, 5, 6, 7 for the check. So the check is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and they split it into a tap 5 kind of feel. Another 6, and then a 7, and it's this like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 attack, or release rather. So they said, again, excuse me. Jesus, now I can't even do it without a check. There it is. Excuse me. So altogether, excuse me. Jesus. Now I can't even play it. Okay, so after that roll thing, we've got, let's see, Flam 5. Yeah. And then cheese, what is it, cheese chicharra? So, cheese accent with the flam at the end. So, and then invert. Yeah. And then this like flam 5 roll thing. Yeah, just a dop bop. Right? And then inverts. Invert. Flam invert. And this is the hard part, strangely enough, is 2 inverts with the sextuplet at the end, and it's weird because you start the release of that invert on the same hand that it's asking you to do the attack off the right hand. Could we have done it off the left? Maybe. Well, yeah. That would have made more sense, but we were stupid and young and reckless and, God, so in love with drumming and spending time with each other, and God, I love him. He's my bestie, man. Fuck, we used to, God, easily 700 quintillion zillion bajillion million thousand 431 and 97 cents notes in our entire lives together. Like, we've gone through a few of them. All right, here we go, all together. Oh, sorry. Right. And get that at speed. You got to keep that left hand nice and loose, ready for that pause. So, all together. We didn't put the rim shots in there at the end of the inverts until later. And so sometimes I play it with and sometimes I play it without. One more time, let's go for perfection. Let's try match grip, even though we're not warmed up for that shit. Jesus, Benjamin. time. Decent. Finish it. Fuck yeah, match grips hard when I'm warmed up with it. All right, well, shit, we're an hour in. Yeah. We're an hour in and we still have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 more pads to go. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 more surfaces to go. 16 if you count the marshmallow, but that's over at Mary's, so just pretend I have it here.